Hi, I'm Volk, and I joined Daily Evolution, which actually started out as Burning Daylight about 5 years ago. And I initially started off on the bass, and then in time I also added some piano to some of the songs. When I initially started with music, I actually started with piano, and I was 6 years old, and I started playing songs on the piano in the house. And by the time I was figuring out all these songs, my parents said it's time to put them in lessons. So I did that for about 10 years. Before that, when I started singing when I was 3 years old, and I was watching VH1, and Lionel Richie was on, and my favorite song was actually Hello. So I really enjoyed singing along to that. So he was one of my early influences right from the start, but got a lot more since then, but that was the first one. I've always loved the melody and the chord and the chord structure, and just listening to that and then trying to reproduce it for cover songs especially. So it's always been really fun to try to make that, to listen to a song and then reproduce that. And when I was a kid, I used to be like razor sharp with it. I could just listen to a song one time, and then my mom would comment that I could play it 5 minutes later almost perfectly from what it would sound like. And not quite as good as I used to be, but that's, I guess, age. But I still enjoy it a lot, and never really stopped enjoying music. I do play guitar. I started guitar when I was 16. I kind of dabble with that as more than anything else. That's probably my third strongest instrument. I'd say my first is piano, and then bass, and then guitar. So it's been really fun learning bass for Daylight Evolution, and been playing for basically the whole 5 years. And I've actually gone through 3 basses in the process, from crappy to better to actually a Fender Precision now, which is, I'm really enjoying that. Yeah, the PV was the middle one. That was like the 250 level, and the first one was a Craigslist used bass, and that was only $50, so that didn't last very long at all. But I ended up going to a house party and hanging out, and John heard me play the piano and sing, and he said, "Oh, do you want to be part of the band?" So that's kind of how it started, and just stayed with him ever since. About it was 2008. Yeah, it seems like just yesterday. It's funny, I use the car a lot, actually. Yeah, it sounds funny, but it's true. I mean, if you just sing along to somebody who's getting it right, like one of my favorite bands are Incubus, and that's because every time Brandon Boyd sings, he hits the note right on. So when I practice singing along to that, I actually get legitimate practice because I'm really hitting those notes. And if you choose good people to emulate, you'll be good. If you choose poor singers, then you'll be poor. You gotta choose people that are good at what they do, and you try to do what they do, you're gonna do better. You're gonna try to